The last round of the Wiseco AMA Pro ATV National Motocross Championship was a barn burner. An early mistake by Joel Hendrick opened the door for a fantastic battle for the podium. Nick Janusa, Josh Upperman, Thomas Brown, and Jeffrey Rastrelli dueling it out, all behind the champ Chad Whedon, who took the Moto 1 win. It was on in the second Moto, with Hendrick staying upright and giving Whedon the run. Back and forth the two competitors went as Brown and Rastrelli battled it out for third. No one was afraid of contact this day, but ultimately, Brown came out on top of his battle and Hendrick came out on top of his. But the overall would go to Whedon. Who's going to come out on top today at Monster Mountain? Stick around. AMA Pro ATV Motocross is next.
It's the Southern ATV National at the very popular Monster Mountain Motocross in Tallahassee, Alabama. Part of the CST Tires presented Wiseco ATV National Motocross Championship. This is all sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing. Riders both pro and amateur, and even the kids greeted by some very hot and humid weather today. That should have an impact on the track conditions, so you see them going to work on Joel Hendrick's machine. Nick Janusa's crew trying to dial in his ride, the 28 of Jeff Rastrelli. Getting to sign some autographs as well. Josh Upperman here on the Root River Racing machine, trying to get that thing dialed in. Cody Jansen on the number 25. Styling as always. There's Sammy Rose amped machine in the pits. Sean Taylor's ride, number 39, the rookie Cole Sapesi. There's his machine. Brett Music on the 209. Ronnie Higgerson 665. And a unique look for Zach Kamarzik there on the 41. Wesley Wolf races both in the woods and here at the motocross track. So a lot of contenders, but all shuffled in behind your series leader, Chad Whedon.
Coming off my second straight win in Underground, made it here to Alabama and, kind of went back home and just worked on a couple things that we struggled with in Texas, a couple corners that we really struggled with. And, people say there's a lot of added pressure. There's always pressure, but it's just how you deal with it. And, we're keeping calm. We're early in the season and a lot of things can happen. Any gate drop, anything can happen. I just feel like we keep our composure and keep striving to our ultimate goal and staying consistent, just not making the big mistakes that take us out of podium contention. And we're just clicking away, and we're looking forward to a good day here in Alabama and see what we can do. Put it back up on the box.
Yeah, that box. The podium consistency is the key for Whedon. Here's Thomas Brown, a fellow Yamaha rider. He wants to knock him off of that spot.
Round 3, we just came out of Texas, my home state, hometown race. Track's only about 2 hours from the house, so it was nice being there, and we ended up getting on the podium, first time ever. So huge momentum, normally not a track that suits me too well. Man, it's given me a lot of confidence coming in here, and I'm looking forward to getting up on the box again and seeing if we can challenge for that win. Me and Jeffrey had a good battle at Texas, but we were a little off pace from Chad and Joel, and they were a little out front, but I'm ready to get there. I can't tell you though, man, I'm pumped on the season. I'm happy to be up on that box every time I am, and I just want to keep pushing for wins.
Good to see Brown healthy and ready. We'll check in with Joel Hendrick when we come back, but all the riders have to head over for a riders meeting, and then it's time for qualifying. Stay with us here on MAV TV. ATV Motocross is brought to you by Wiseco, by CST Tires, by AMSOIL, and by Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com. Riders getting one last look at this monster of a Monster Mountain Motocross track, and then we'll bring them out 2 qualifying sessions today. It's a way for the riders to learn the track, but more importantly, we're going to put the stopwatch to them and check out the lap times in our CST Tires qualifiers. Fastest time gets the ATVRiders.com qualifying award, and this is where we can really let it fly. Chad Whedon, Joel Hendrick, as always, your favorites coming into the weekend, throwing it down. Although I don't want to spoil it too much, but we do have a new contender on fast lap times today. Thomas Brown looked good, but he was not it. Jeff Rastrelli looked good. He was also fast, but he was not the one to get in there. Yes, it was the 15 of Nick Janusa. Fastest time in the first qualifying session today, so he continues to make strides. It was 20 of Josh Upperman airing it out. Ronnie Higgerson, he can be a podium threat on the right day. Parka Wawerka, not parking, but riding, going very fast. There's a young Wesley Wolf, who we mentioned, very quick in any type of ATV race. 39, Sean Taylor. Cody Jansen here on the 25. Dylan Tremelin here, beginning to become a top 10 threat in this series. 79, Wes Lewis airing it out. And I love watching Silas Lamons in practice, but not on the traditional yellow Suzuki this time. Now we run the 2 qualifying sessions here, so Hetrick's time in the second one was able to overcome Januso's from the first. So he is your ATVRiders.com top qualifier. Let's check in on the number 88. Joel Hetrick needs a win big time today.
Coming into Monster Mountain, Friday we got to ride a little bit on the pro section. That was cool. We got to test the jumps for Saturday's racing. The pro section was awesome. It's got some big jumps. It's a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a fun track. The heat's going to come into play for sure. We've been heat training though, so we're ready for anything. Ready to go out there and pull some starts and pull some moto wins.
Yeah, Hetrick started the season saying he needed to be consistent, stay in the points hunt. He has done that. But now he needs to take some points away from Wienen. ATV Motocross is brought to you by Wiseco, by CST Tires, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Let's get it done here at Wiseco Moto number 1. Finally going to be handlebar to handlebar, wheel to wheel racing for the first time this year. And Alabama's Monster Mountain, Jason Wygant here to give you the call. Joel Hetrick running our Rocky Mountain ATV MC helmet camera. And Hetrick said he had to pull some starts today, and he's done it. SSI Decals Whole Shot Award for him. Also have it on board with Jeff Rastrelli, not as good a start. Chad Wienen up to second early, and I think that's Thomas Brown third. Haven't seen Brown get this good of a start this year. So we'll see if Brown can hang with those two, as Rastrelli, man, he has got some work to do. Hetrick, Wienen, and Brown lead them around the first lap here at Monster Mountain. And here's one of the monster jumps. Here's that pro section. ATV Motocross, they always share the weekend, pros and amateurs. They race together. A unique situation here to have a section only for the pro riders on this track. They have plenty of room to work with out here. Rastrelli doesn't have much room though. He's trying to thread the needle and make some moves. As we go back to our leaders, green flag flying, 1 lap in the books. Hetrick in the top spot. Going to be interesting to see how Wienen plays this. Way too early in the season to count points. You got to go for the moto wins. Forget about the consistency. You cannot let Hetrick get hot. Right around this time last year, he did so. And Hetrick went on a big win streak. Strung together 4 or 5 in a row. If you're Wienen, you got to stop that before it starts. Here's Rastrelli working on Janusa. They look to be about 5th and 6th right now. And Hetrick is stretching it just a little bit on Wienen. Rastrelli has gotten to the rear tires of Janusa. Is there a spot, though, to get around? Oh! I thought Rastrelli was about to come up short on that jump. Janusa going for the pass on Ronnie Higgerson. A 3-rider fight. 5th, 6th, 7th. Now Rastrelli trying to get Higgerson. Boy, those guys are battling hard, but while that's happening, these two are pulling away. I would not count Chad Wienen out. That's not quite striking distance here, but he can make that time back up and then start putting some heat on Hetrick. So Rastrelli's made the move on Janusa. He's trying to get around Higgerson. Ronnie doing everything he can to keep that machine wide. Rastrelli on the inside. Drag race through this section. Outside line. That should not work, but he gets it done. ATV Motocross is brought to you by Wiseco, by CST Tires, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Joel Hedrick and Chad Wienen continuing to set the pace here in Wiseco ATV National Motocross. Oh, Josh Upperman, I think a hand came off the bars there. Upperman better be careful. He's about to be embroiled in a battle. He's fourth behind Thomas Brown, but I can tell you, Jeff Rastrelli is coming, and now he's there. Whoa, tightrope walking down the inside to try to find a way around. And then you've got Thomas Brown just up ahead in third, so Upperman stuck behind Brown and dealing with Rastrelli. Hedrick starting to open it up a bit. There's that outside line from Rastrelli. Saw it work on Higgerson, and now it has worked on Upperman. And I'll tell you what, Upperman did a good job of keeping Thomas Brown in check, so Rastrelli has a shot at the podium. Brown and Rastrelli have had some unbelievable battles so far this year. We might have it again. There's Brown, left side of your screen, getting away, third place. Rastrelli going to try to stick with him. This should be fun to watch. Upperman overhauled by Higgerson. So Higgerson making a name for himself here. Nice job by him. He's been battling around the podium spots the last year or two. And a little bit of a slow start this season, but starting to find his groove. And we have another Brown and Rastrelli battle. There they are. Man, they've spent, I'd say, more than half of the laps this season all over each other. And Upperman will give us a little look at that. You see them all the way on the far side. Outside lines running that cushion, not quite working for Wienen. He's just losing small tenths, a little bit of ground everywhere to Hedrick. Hedrick really strong with the corners today. The jumps aren't really separating anybody. Brown and Rastrelli continue to duke it out. Well, this is exactly what Hedrick needed to go out and take some points away from Wienen in this first moto, if he can hold on. He's had a couple of crashes this year, but I don't think it's going to lead to his undoing in this first moto. He'll be back for Moto 2, though. He's got to try to finish it off and get 1-1. Here's Hedrick, headed for daylight, headed for pay dirt, headed for victory lane in the first moto. But we'll see if things change in Moto 2. Look at this. Rastrelli desperate to get around for third. He had an opening on Brown. Can he get it done? Checkered flag in sight for Joel Hedrick on the Elka Maxxis Liquid Wrench Honda, and he's got it. And the Wienen Motorsports Walsh Racecraft SSI decals machine, Wienen is second. Brown holds off Rastrelli. Higgerson, great run for the top five. Got to reset for Moto 2. You can hear some of the youth ATVs out there finishing their moto while the pros get ready to pack their starting gates and get set for the decider. Moto number 2 will total the scores from the first race with this one to determine this weekend's overall winner. Oh, and Hedrick buried off the gate this time. It's not Chad Wienen on the inside, it's Cole Sapesi, the rookie, gonna grab the whole shot award and some money from SSI Decal. So let's see what the kid's made of, having to deal with the champ. Well, the champ quickly slips by on the inside. Exactly what Chad Wienen needed. Hedrick, not what he wants. He's battling with Higgerson back here. Boy, this is about, what, 7th place? This is where Chad Wienen has become so good. He is very much the Ryan Dungey of the ATV motocross game. Puts himself in the right position week in and week out and never, ever has bad races. He has 5 straight titles, and during this run of 5 straight titles, Wienen has finished on the overall podium. In every race, he has never, oh! and Hetrick is down. Upperman slides by. I hope Joel's okay. Man, he hooked a rut again. That's what led to his undoing in the first moto last week out in Texas. But that's what happens, the bad start. You've got to take chances to make passes, and it has struck Hetrick, who we do hear is now back up, but in 16th place. Meanwhile, Wienen setting sail. Rastrelli and Sapesi come through next. And here's Upperman just behind that group. Let's see what Rastrelli can do. Can he close in at all on Wienen and put a little pressure on, keep tabs on it? I think he is. I think he's actually closing. Boy, Rastrelli has come a long way the last 3 seasons, continues to make strides. He wants to go and do what Hetrick does, and that's put the challenge to Chad Wienen. Oh, Upperman gets bumped, and now he goes down. Thomas Brown just parked him. Guys are getting desperate back there to make passes, and Brown with that third in the first moto, he cannot afford to wait, so he just went through Upperman. And all that chaos back there, Mr. Consistency still making it happen up front, and he stabilized the gap. Wienen over Rastrelli, and here's Joel Hetrick, 15th, but on the move. How many points can he salvage today? ATV Motocross is brought to you by Wiseco, by CST Tires, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Chad Wienen checking out here in Alabama, but a battle brewing. Nick Janusa and Jeff Rastrelli. Janusa, I mentioned before the break how far Rastrelli has come in the last 2 years of this game. Janusa on a similar climb. Podiums are no longer a big deal for him. He wants second place, not just third, and he has closed the gap on Rastrelli to do it. And Rastrelli is all over the place, that thing dancing around as he's pushing the pace to keep Janusa behind him. Janusa on the Gen USA backed machine. That's a good battle back there. Wienen has gotten away. You see those two really pushing each other. Oh, this would be huge for Janusa if he can get Rastrelli. And good to see some young guns up there. Second place has primarily been the domain. It's basically been either Wienen wins the moto or finishes second, Hetrick wins the moto, finishes second, but these other guys are closing the gap. And Hetrick, a rough one today. He's just trying to salvage the top 5 after the early crash. Look at Janusa. This one might come down to the wire. Janusa have any spots to pass? He does! What a move! Can he make it stick? And he does! Contact in mid-air. This kid wants it. So, Nick Janusa has made the pass up for second place. Janusa was 7th in the first moto. I don't know where this ride came from, and unfortunately, he might not be on the overall podium today, but he's still got to feel really good about this kind of ride. And for these young guns, it's all about finding a little bit of momentum and then moving forward. Rastrelli, though, not going to let him off the hook. As Wienen heads for daylight on the Walsh Racecraft Wienen Motorsports SSI decals Yamaha. Janusa and Rastrelli still battling it out. It is Hetrick working on Parker Wawerka, getting closer to that top 5. Oh, he'd like to be up there challenging this guy. Not going to happen today. Chad Wienen continues to have ATV Motocross on lockdown. As you see Rastrelli and Janusa still close. Here comes that battle for second. Rastrelli backed by JB Racing and Root River Racing. Overall podium math is going to be pretty complicated today. Will it be Thomas Brown? Will it be Rastrelli? Will it be Hetrick? Will it be Janusa? Who will take the second and third place spots today? I'm going to put some money down and say that Chad Wienen has got this one locked up as far as the battle for the win. The big man from Galena, Illinois has got it. Brown and Hetrick, not as great a moto for Brown as the first, and in fact Hetrick from that crash has come all the way back to catch him. Chad Wienen, Gonna get it done today with a 2-1, second behind Hendrick in Moto 1. And he wins Moto 2 and the overall here at Monster Mountain. Hendrick will salvage second, Rastrelli third. Let's talk to them.
We nailed our start. We came out second and made a quick pass right away. And man, my Wiener Motorsports Yamaha was ripping today. And big thanks to the whole team. And you know, we're pumped to get our third straight win and you know, extend this points lead. And haven't won at Alabama yet, and you know, I'm really excited to get the win here, and you know, we're gonna keep working on the ultimate goal. So we'll see you guys in PA.
Started off the weekend here at Alabama with first in time qualifying. First moto came out, pulled the start and led every lap. Never looked back, just put my head down and charged hard. It was a really tough race. Chad was on my bumper the whole time, keeping me honest. And Moto 2 came out. Not a great start. I think I was probably about fifth. And first lap, right before the finish line, made a little mistake and it tossed me off the bike. You know, really unfortunate for me. I didn't see that coming at all. I wasn't pushing hard. I just, you know, just a little mistake that bit me today, and you know, that hurt me today. So we're gonna work hard though, and keep charging, keep trying my best, and you know, hopefully come back from this little incident and you know, tighten this points gap up a little bit, make it interesting.
Going into the first moto, I had a really bad start and had to work really hard to get up to fourth place, and was really pushing Thomas for the third place in that moto. And second moto worked out way better. I ended up getting third on the whole shot, and was behind Sebastien for a lap, and then ended up getting around him. And we tried to put a dent in Chad's gap, but just couldn't do it. And then Janusa came up on me, and we battled out, and he ended up getting around me, which is unfortunate. But you know, I'm happy to be back up here, and look forward to seeing you guys at High Point.
Give you a quick AMSOIL recap there. You heard it from the riders. I'll give it to you as well. Good battle up front, Hendrick and Wienen. Rastrelli making all sorts of passes around Ronnie Higgerson there, around Josh Upperman here to try to get into a podium spot. Hendrick wins it over Wienen. Thomas Brown third, Rastrelli fourth. Cole Sapesi gets the early lead in Moto 2. The whole shot, Hendrick goes down. Wienen now in the lead over Rastrelli. Thomas Brown gets into Josh Upperman and parks him. And Janusa makes a strong pass. Takes second away from Rastrelli. Hendrick making up ground. Salvage a podium, but he wants points. Chad Wienen's on top again in ATV Motocross. Thanks for watching.